my name is Rhea and I'm from Slugs in the Kitchen. I'm going to show you guys how to make vegan sushi with today's meal kit. Today in our kit we're going to be cutting up a lot of vegetables such as carrots, apricots, avocados, cucumbers, and roasted sweet potato. So the first thing we're going to do is the carrots. And what we're going to do is cut off the ends. So put them aside. And I'm just going to do one at a time just because they're small and they're not the most even shape. But I am just going to cut off the ends and tips on each one just to make it a little bit faster for me. And you can compost your scraps if you have a compost. If you don't, you can also freeze them to make vegetable stock later on. It's pretty versatile, and this way you're more sustainable and saving waste. So the first thing I like to do with my carrots is to just, I'm going to show a straighter one, is just to cut it in half like so. And we're just going to keep doing it. These are really small carrots. Normally you'll have like a large one, and it will be a little bit easier, but basically you want like a little thin slice like so. Line it up with our sushi bowl. So I'm just going to keep doing this with all of my carrots. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is peel our cucumber. And I like to just use my knife to do so. And make sure you don't scrape off too big of a chunk, just a slight edge so you can see the under part of it. And I'm just going to do this all the way around. You could even like set it on the side of your cutting board if that's easier. Just be really careful because you don't want to cut yourself, and that just would not be good. So the next thing you're going to do is cut your cucumber in half. Just like we did the carrot, we're going to do the same method of julienning. I'm going to just cut it in half again actually, just so we have it fours. Makes it a little bit easier. And then I'm just going to do a thin slice like so, and I might even flip it over onto to be flat on my board, just so I have an easier grip on slicing it. And I'm gonna probably make it really, really thin, so it looks like so. It's like a matchstick. And I'm just gonna keep doing this with the whole board. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is cut our avocado. So I like to just cut mine in half, so. And then we're also gonna just hit this one. You can just use your knife to do so, and then it pops out. And then the next thing we're going to do is just cut it in half like this, and you want the avocado on the facing down on the board. Like this, and we're just going to do quarters. Then an easy tip is to just peel it back, and this way we save a lot of avocado, and we can get a really good slice on it without it being mushy. And because this avocado is a little bit ripe, this is a really good way to save a lot of it. So I'm just going to show you guys quickly on this half, just to make it faster, and I'm just going to do really thin strips with my knife. This little size is good. Same size as your cucumber and carrot. Okay, so for the next thing, we're going to do our apricots, and we're actually just going to do the same technique that we did with the avocado in a way, by just twisting it and then opening it. And then we're going to take the pit out. You don't need a knife for this because it's a little bit easier. And then we're just going to put it down on the board like we did with the avocado. And we're going to do really, really thin slices this way. And then we're going to probably even have to slice it again. But first I'm doing it this way. And I kind of like doing it by a slight diagonal just to, I don't know, it makes it thinner. And it looks nicer as for presentation. So you see it's a little bit thick, so I kind of still, I'm just going to show a centerpiece. I want to make it a little bit thinner, so I'm just going to even go with that. That way I have this really, really thin slice. We can line it up with our sushi bowl. Okay, so for the next thing, we're going to do our roasted sweet potato. They're in a vacuum sealed bag, so we want to first open it with a knife. I like to just use a knife because I'm already using it. I don't want to dirty up another dish, and it's just really easy. And yeah, so I'm just going to grab one to show you guys a really quick demo. You need a bowl for this, and you also need a spoon, so get that ready. That here. Basically, basically we need to take the skin out and scoop out the flesh, essentially. Luckily, since they've been roasted, it's really easy to peel the skin. It's not really tough. So I'm just gonna use my spoon to kind of like try to get the most out of it as I can. I don't want to like waste any of it because it tastes really good. So what we want to do with the sweet potato is either slice it like we've done in the past with all of our other veggies, or mash it in a bowl with some chili flakes and some seasoning. Maybe to make it like a vegan mock tuna. But if you want to slice it, it's going to be a little mushy, but you can do it like this, and then that way when we get like a slice like this, we can make it even smaller, just how we did the julienning, and line it up. It doesn't really need to be perfect just because this is a very cooked vegetable. We just want to make it not really bulky when we put it in our bowl. Okay, so now we're going to assemble our sushi roll. So get your rice, that's in this container, it's a quart container. We're also going to get a bowl of water so we can wet our fingers so the sushi rice doesn't stick to our hands when we're pressing it on the nori wrap. So I'm just going to wet my hands real quick. I'm just going to grab a good handful. I really like to have a lot of rice on my nori. I don't like when it's super thin, it's good to have a thick layer. And I'm just going to press down so it's evenly distributed on my entire wrap. And this is going to be a little bit of a process. You do need to like keep pushing, and you want to make it evenly distributed, so be patient. Alright, so this seems pretty good for me, and I'm going to get ready, started on my veggies and placing them on my wrap. So I like to put it towards me on the wrap. So when I place it, I like to do a few slices of avocado, just like a line. Same with the apricot. It doesn't really matter what order you do it in, as long as you have them all in there, just for flavor. And then I'm also going to do some of the carrot. Next, we want to add a couple of slices of cucumber, or whatever veggie you are doing next. And then lastly, we're going to add some of that sweet potato. And it is kind of mushy, so I'm just going to add it here. We want to also like make sure it's all like bound pretty tightly together so it doesn't fall apart. So the next step that we want to do is, we don't need a sushi wrap, like wooden wrapper or any other extra equipment to roll our nori wrap. We just need our hands and make sure that we tuck it in really well. So I like to really, really press in the veggies like so. Otherwise, it can really fall apart and it won't look good when we try to cut it in pieces. So I'm really trying to press it. Now I have a really thick roll and it looks really great. The next step is to cut the roll into pieces. So you want to actually get a knife. You want to get a clean knife. It should be serrated and really sharp. Sometimes you can use like hot water and put it on top of your knife and then slice it. But if you don't want to do that, you don't have to either. It just helps it be more even. So I did say serrated, but I meant just a really sharp knife. And basically, all you have to do is cut your sushi like so. I like to do some big, thick slices. If you want really thin slices and a lot more pieces, then that's what you do. You can really make it however you want. You can even make it like a sushi burrito if you don't want to slice it. But I like to slice it. It makes it really nice. And you can impress your friends like this. So, yeah, this is a roll. It looks really great. It looks really professional. So, yeah. Thank you for watching, and tune in for next week's spring roll class.